Aberdeen, one of the moons orbiting Hurston in the Stanton system. According to Star Citizen lore, it was named after scientist Aberdeen Hurston, designer of the first Hurston dynamic antimatter warhead. Aberdeen is notable for being the only moon in the Stanton system to feature once thriving grasslands and scattered trees. Although some dead and desiccated examples of Aberdeen's former ecosystems remain, nothing now grows in the highly toxic, boiling environment. It is unclear how or when Aberdeen's ecosystem collapsed into its current hellscape, but it is most likely that the moon was used as a testing site for Hurston Dynamics antimatter weapons. If true, this would be the most ironic given who the moon was named after. At present, Aberdeen is known primarily for being the location of the Clusher Rehabilitation Facility. Aberdeen's atmosphere is comprised primarily of sulfur dioxide and sulfur oxide, giving it a yellow tint. Trace amounts of sodium chloride are also present. The resulting mixture is deadly to humans, as are the daytime temperatures, which commonly reach 230 degrees Celsius. Due to these factors, environmentally sealed survival gear is required when venturing outside. Surface conditions are hazy and cloudy, leading to reduced visibility.
And because of the new features coming into Star Citizen Alpha 4.1, Aberdeen recently got a rework in the 4.1 PTU with an updated volumetric cloud system, as well as many new points of interest added on the moon surface. And this moon looks much better than before. In the outer orbit of Aberdeen, there are many asteroid fields, or you can say weapon testing sites. And those weapon testing sites are often locations for bounty hunting missions in-game. They also provide some ores for mining. There are two mining outposts on Aberdeen. The first one is called HDMS Anderson. This location sits on a hill. It provides a trading terminal with possible loot boxes in those buildings. It also has a medium and a large landing pad for your ships, which provide rearming, refueling, and repairing services. And on each of those landing pads, you can access the freight elevators. This location also provides a ground vehicle retrieval service, and you can also retrieve your Size 1 ships. However, at the time of this recording, those vehicle retrieval services, the buildings and the vehicle pads, they seems to be buried by the sand, and I have no idea how long they will remain under the sand. This location and around this location, about 500 meters radius, is under armistice protection. The second mining station on Aberdeen is called HDMS Norgard. HDMS Norgard sits on the foot of a mountain. It has the exact services as what the HDMS Anderson provides, with a trading terminal, medium and large landing pads for your ships, which provides rearming, refilling, and repairing services. It also has a working vehicle retrieval service. The building and the vehicle pads are not buried under the sand, and you can also retrieve your size 1 ships. And this place and the surrounding areas are also under armistice protection. There is one emergency shelter on Aberdeen, which is called Barton Flats Aid Shelter. This place has a quantum beacon. You can jump straight to it. But be careful, this place is very close to Clasher Rehabilitation Facility. If your approaching angle is incorrect, if you get too close to Clasher, you will be shot at by the Clasher turrets and missiles. This place has one building which has possible red or gray loot boxes. This place also has a ground vehicle retrieval service, which you can also retrieve your size 1 ships. But this place is not under any armistice protection. There is also a public cave on Aberdeen with a quantum junk marker. The name for this cave is called HDMO Dobbs. There is no restrictions for this cave. It is not under armistice. And there are a lot of hand minables inside this cave. There are also 2 forward operating bases on Aberdeen. The first one is called Boondoggle. It has a quantum beacon. You can jump to it. However, this forward operating base seems to be abandoned. There are no NPCs operating around here. It has missile defense turrets. They are mostly friendly. This place has 2 small landing pads. However, there is no ship or vehicle services on those landing pads, meaning you cannot repair, rearm, or refuel your ship. This place is not under armistice protection. The second forward operating base on Aberdeen is called The Grove. It also has a quantum beacon. There are no NPCs operating around here. It has missile turrets, but most of the time seems to be friendly. It has only one small landing pad with no landing services, and this place is not under armistice protection. At last, here are the new point of interests that are added to Aberdeen in the coming Alpha 4.1. 2 orbital laser platforms from Hathor Group. One is called Vivira OLP, the other is called Ruptura OLP. And directly under each of these orbital laser platforms, on the moon's surface, there are also 3 planetary alignment facilities for each of these orbital laser platforms. So under the Ruptura OLP, we will find Ruptura PAF1, Ruptura PAF2, and Ruptura PAF3. Each of these planetary alignment facility is about kilometers away from each other, so they form a loose triangle with a giant radar dish with a possibility to be in line with the orbital laser platform above them to perform certain actions. These 2 orbital laser platforms, they are not in the low orbit of Aberdeen. They are, as a matter of fact, floating above Atmo, above Aberdeen, which means they are not safe to EVA. If you jump out of those platforms, you will fall into the planet. Each of these orbital laser platforms has multiple small and large landing pads. They have a lot of loot, very good loot. However, these 2 laser platforms are controlled by the Ninetales. Thus, they belong to the hostile territory. And we have hostile NPCs constantly spawning in those platforms that we have to deal with. The same thing is true to those ground planetary alignment facilities. They are also, all of them, under Ninetail control. So hostiles will be constantly spawning in those ground locations. But you have one of the best loot opportunities on those locations, especially the newly released parallax energy weapon, the Vault Gun. As far as I know, they can only be looted from those planetary alignment facilities. There are also freight elevators on those planetary alignment facilities, which you can use to access your local inventory. In each of these locations, once you activated the radar dish on the planetary alignment facility, all 3 of them, and also carry those big batteries to those laser platforms, and then activated the giant laser from the orbital laser platform, then something wonderful will happen, or something dangerous.